Hello to all of you from around the world. I want to thank you for joining us for another edition of Soulivity Today, broadcasting live from our studio right here in the nation's capital, Washington, D.C., and on KMET 1490 AM radio in Southern California. My name is Brian Westley Johnson, and whether you're at home, driving, or at work, we are always glad you're here with us. We have another amazing show for you today. And once again, I am joined by an equally amazing co-host, Teresa Greco, the host of the Steps to Happiness show that airs at 12 noon right here on Soulivity TV. And good morning and hello to you.
Good morning, Brian, and good morning, listeners. I'm so excited to be here this morning.
Yeah, we are excited that you are back with us again. We had a fantastic show last week for celebrating the life and legacy of Martin Luther King. If people haven't checked that out, go check that out on Soulivity TV. It was really amazing. And Teresa, you had some great thoughts that I really appreciated in terms of his life and legacy as well. So thank you for that.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you.
What have you been up to? We got a lot of snow here in DC. Well, not a lot, comparatively speaking to Canada. But did it snow a lot up there where you are in Toronto?
We did get some snow last week, but it was more the very frigid temperatures that kept the kids in during recess in schools last week. Yeah. So as soon as it goes minus 15 Celsius, anything colder than that, the kids don't go out because your skin can freeze in
I mean,
time.
That's like probably minus 30 degrees, 40 degrees Fahrenheit. I mean, that's cold. That's
with the wind
dangerously
chill.
cold.
Yeah,
Wow.
with the wind chill, so they don't send the kids out. So this week is supposed to go back up to around 0. So when it's super cold, you don't tend to get the snow, right? You get it more like around around 0.
Freezing. Yeah, around 0 or 1, 0 or minus 1, your temperature. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that you're okay, staying warm there.
Yes, I have been. Well, trying to anyway.
Well, you of course, you love these shows because today is our Motivational Monday show where we bring you news. Yeah, I know, right? Da-da-da. Where we bring you news and information from around the world that will help get you inspired and motivated to start your work week. And so, Teresa, again, you're going to love all these stories. And they're all like equally like amazing in different ways. But our first story comes from the beautiful country of Japan, where Gary Leon, a visually impaired man, ran 1,400 miles across the island country in 40 days, overcoming obstacles along the way. After losing his sight 25 years ago, Gary Leon embraced long-distance running as a way to cope with his blindness. So let's learn a little bit more about this amazing man.
Visual impairment didn't stop Gary Leung from running. Instead, it fueled him to conquer more. Meet this extraordinary man from Hong Kong, Gary Leung. His story is not one of limitations, but of defying odds. Despite his visual impairment, Gary has excelled in the world of long-distance running. He has left his footprints on some of the world's most challenging terrains. From the icy stretches of the Antarctic Ice Marathon to the grueling landscapes of the Ultra Gobi, Gary has triumphed. Most recently, he undertook a monumental journey, a 2,300-kilometer charity run across the breadth of Japan. But why does he do it? For Gary, it's about more than just the thrill of the race. It's about inspiring others, about proving that everyone has their own hurdles to overcome. Gary Leung's journey is not just about running, it's about overcoming obstacles, embracing challenges, and making a difference. Gary's 2,300-kilometer run across Japan was not just a test of endurance, but a testament to his indomitable spirit. This remarkable journey saw Gary, a visually impaired runner from Hong Kong, conquer some of the most challenging terrains, battling both the physical and mental trials that come with such an extraordinary feat. Every day, for 40 days, Gary pushed his body to the limits, running an average of 57 kilometers. But this was more than just a test of physical endurance. It was a battle of willpower, determination, and resilience. What pushed him forward was not just his love for running, but a cause close to his heart. Gary's run was dedicated to raising money for Make-A-Wish Hong Kong. This organization works tirelessly to grant the wishes of children battling critical illnesses, offering them hope, strength, and joy. Gary's endeavor was also aimed at inspiring these young fighters, showing them that their conditions do not define them, that they too can chase their dreams and conquer their own mountains. Through his journey, Gary faced numerous obstacles, each one a testament to his unwavering resolve. From navigating unfamiliar routes to braving unpredictable weather conditions, Gary met each challenge head-on. He believed that everyone has their own obstacles to overcome, and his visual impairment was just one of his. His journey was a testament to this belief, a demonstration of the human spirit's ability to rise above adversity. Every stride he took, every mile he conquered was a step closer to making a difference in the lives of young people battling critical illnesses. Gary Leung's journey doesn't end with Japan. He has his sights set on more ambitious goals. The energy of his spirit is undying and his determination unwavering. Gary is looking forward to his next challenge, the Marathon des Sables, a grueling race that has been dubbed the toughest foot race on Earth. This ultramarathon stretches across 250 kilometers of the Sahara Desert, a test of endurance that Gary is eager to conquer. But that's not all. Gary also dreams of running the entire circumference of South Korea, a feat that will cover over 2,000 kilometers, and he won't be doing it alone. Gary aims to include others who, like him, live with visual impairments. His goal is to pass the torch to younger runners, encouraging them to embrace their limitations and turn them into strengths. Gary's dreams extend beyond his personal achievements. He aspires to inspire others with impairments to love exercise, to embrace the challenge, and to push beyond their perceived limits. His message is clear: our obstacles do not define us. Our will to overcome them does. Gary Leung is more than a visually impaired runner. He is an inspiration, a beacon of hope, showing us that no obstacle is too big to overcome. Gary Leung's story is more than just about running. It's a testament to the triumph of human spirit, to our innate capacity to rise above our limitations and to conquer the insurmountable. His journey, braving the snows of Antarctica, the deserts of Gobi, and the landscapes of Japan, is a beacon of hope. It's a message that challenges aren't roadblocks, but stepping stones to greater heights. It's a reminder that our potential is not defined by what we lack, but by what we dare to achieve. In the face of adversity, Gary Leung chose to run. He chose to triumph. And in doing so, he reminds us all, our biggest obstacles can become our greatest opportunities.
Loving that. Again, next up for Leung and his tight-knit crew is the Marathon des Sables, a 250-kilometer desert run from Morocco to France, and running the entire length of South Korea. Just a fantastic story, Teresa. I mean, how can you not be inspired and motivated by a story like Gary Leung?
Yeah, and I loved all the words in the whole video. I was with a friend this weekend who is feeling very down. Has to encounter a whole bunch of financial challenges, and in listening to her, it's like when you're at that point, it's hard for you to see the way out. And I was saying some of what's in the video to her, but I'm going to get her to definitely watch this morning.
Good.
Because she needs to hear all of these words. But sometimes when you're at your low point, it is hard to see the way out. And
Yeah.
I can't, and and imagine, what it would have been like, for this gentleman 25 years ago when his sight was taken away from him,
Yeah.
and now, to be where he is and wanting to make the difference that he's making. And
Yeah.
I think it's very inspiring, as you said, and
Absolutely.
and it's
Absolutely.
so important that we realize that when we're at these like crossroads moments or at these low points, that they are, as it said in the video, a stepping stone to something greater. And so we always
Right.
keep that perspective, right? I had to keep saying to her, like, you've got this, you've got this. Like every time, your mind wants to say you don't, you have to keep saying, I do, I've got this, I've got this. So imagine, the type of things that it said he had to surmount, like incredible challenges and difficulties in just doing what he's been doing. Imagine just the mental toughness that you
Yeah.
have, right? Because your mind wants to say, no, give up, give up. This is too hard. I can't do it.
Right.
And
Right.
somehow we can.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think that is the way of how all of this works, right? I remember my grandmother telling me a long time ago that, God, spirit, universe, or whatever you want to put it, but in her words, God never gives you anything or never places any obstacle in front of you that you can't overcome. In fact, the reason why the obstacle is there so that you can learn that you can overcome it, and
Hmm.
it builds you up, it brings you up, it allows you to know w- about yourself, what you're really capable of. There's this great quote that I wanted to kind of give people, that's part of this story, where Gary Leon says the most impressive are these children, and that he's talking about children that have lost their sight due to this rare retinal disease. And he says, I want to show them that we all have our obstacles, but we must face them head on with bravery. When they're faced with theirs, many of them suffer from worse difficulties. They can see it's possible to overcome. So he's bringing forth this example
Hmm.
of as they move later in life, what's actually more than possible for them to do. And so just bravo, Gary,
Hmm.
for all that you're doing, and the inspiration that you're giving. And we're going to follow his next steps, especially as he goes to Morocco to tackle the marathon des Sables, and actually South Korea as well. So just great story. Teresa, we've got more great stories coming up. And in fact, this next story comes from the UK, but we're going to take a quick break, and we've got even more Soulivity today, especially our Motivational Monday stories coming up in just a second. So stay tuned, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes. Hi there, this is Brian with Soulivity.com. I want to share some exciting news about our new Aspire Academy by Soulivity. Now, you probably want to know what the Aspire Academy by Soulivity is. Well, it exclusively connects you with people around the globe and who share the intense desire to improve themselves and create a better life for themselves today. There's classes, there's workshops, there's live events, and even more exclusively just for you. You see, I wanted you to have a safe space where you could grow, you can learn, and it would empower you in all aspects of your life, including your mind, your body, and your soul. So how do you get started? Well, it is so easy. First of all, the best part, joining Aspire Academy is absolutely free. Just click on the Join Now button, sign up, and begin your journey. As a special part of this invitation to you, there are some free courses that are available. for you to try from our amazing roster of coaches and collaborators. It's our way of saying thank you for all of your support and being with us along our journey of expansion. I hope you enjoyed the Aspire Academy by Soulivity today. Start the process. Learn more about your passion, your purpose, and how to live a higher quality life. And it is still cold here in Washington, D.C., but it is also beautiful with this beautiful sunshine, and I could not be happier. Welcome back to Soulivity Today. Again, that sunshine is great, right, Teresa? I mean, it's perfect for our Motivational Monday show.
I love it.
I know it's, when it's cold, as long as it's sunny, it kind of becomes bearable,
I know. Yes, we all say that here.
Yeah. I mean, it's like sunshine. You're like, oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. Listen, I think you're really going to love this next piece, because this comes from the UK, and it's all about what they're doing there to uh, uh, make farming more environmentally safe and applicable because of flooding. In fact, the streams, or becks, as they're called there, that run through James Robinson's Lake District Farm used to be cleaned out regularly, with vegetation yanked out and riverbeds dredged or even completely filled in. But the result wasn't positive, everyone. In fact, it was the opposite. The overmanagement of these areas led to more and more flooding. So he reached out to the Nature Friendly Farming Network, or the NFFN, an organization set up as a way for agricultural businesses to share knowledge about nature-friendly farming and holistic climate strategies. And farmers are joining in increasing numbers. Let's see how this organization changed his farm areas for the better.
So this area on the right down the bottom, that's why Danny's on a bit of a, he's poking his nose over the hedge. So yeah, that's where we've done a fairly big bit of digging. We've always had this bit of land. It always floods because it's on a floodplain. Historically, it's been drained. We've had probably 3 different goes at it, draining it in the last 100 years, none of which really made much more difference. I wanted to see standing water, hawks hunting over it, and then when you come down I wanted to be able to see some invertebrates over the water. So that's what I said to Danny, and then said, there you go, do something.
So just found the low spot through here, re-meander the stream back through it, put some ponds onto it. It floods, doesn't it?
Yeah, but it doesn't flood any more frequently than before. It'll hang around these lower areas that Danny's created, but it's also, there's areas of dry as well, so there's more of a refuge for creatures to go and hide on. For the majority of farmers, it takes so much work. Danny knows exactly who to go to, he knows roughly what it's going to cost, he knows how long it's going to take. Job done, and he knows what permissions to get as well.
This is local environment agency that are trying something different, working with us as the CIC, as Saltwater CIC, and we're tying the environment agency in to the farmers, working it through us, and it just brings them together. And it's again, we end up with a really flexible, good idea at the end. It's replicating how it used to be. From the top corner where it comes in here, I've then used a laser level and found the lowest part. It's then putting the stream back through it, how it should naturally flow through here, and then there should be offshoots for ponds and wetland areas.
10 months in since it was done, I mean, it looks like it's been here years, if not decades already, but we're going to let it do what it wants. We're going to allow it to renaturalise. Mayflower, cuckoo flower, lady's smock, it's got loads of names. We call it Mayflower here. The orange-tipped butterfly lays its eggs only on these, so they come out around now. I've seen an odd one or two, and they lay their eggs on these, so they're dependent on these flowers. So these are king cups, marsh marigolds. They are very much a wetland type of plant, so they need wet feet, as it were, to be able to grow. But having all these early flowers, great for early pollinators are out this time of year. But you need a real mix of habitat to do this. This is bittersweet, tall, white, fluffy flowers, almost like a champagne sort of colour. They're really late flowers, so like August, September when those will be flowering. And then that's a sorrel there. So that's like a June, July flowering. So you've got different things flowering different times of year. This is a green dock beetle. It's a really iridescent colour, really shiny, and when you see them in the sun, they're beautiful. These are the eggs from that, and then those will hatch into little black grubs, and then the black grubs eat all these leaves, and I think I've just disturbed them in their moment of passion. But they're really good, if allowed, to breed because they do keep the broadleaf dock in check, which is considered an undesirable weed within grassland, so they do a great job. And you see them sometimes just devouring across a field if you get the life cycle right, but sometimes that's more luck than management.
Oh, you've got all the tadpoles
Yeah.
on the bottom.
Oh, there is, yeah. So loads of teddies. So get all that right. You've got food for the birds and areas for butterflies to be, and the dragonflies that are going to be on here once the sun comes warmer and in June, July. Well, it just shows, doesn't it? There's this build it and they will come. There wouldn't be any of this stuff here if there was no pond. Nature moves in, you know, if you just give it somewhere to go.
Nature moves in if you give it somewhere to go. Now, now check this out. The UK government has found that restoring wetlands has significant carbon sequestration benefits. Flooding costs the United Kingdom economy more than £1 billion annually, and a figure that rises to nearly £5 billion in a bad year. And it is likely to get even worse in the future. So great job to these farmers and to this association, the Nature Friendly Farming Network, for creating a natural way of restoring these wetlands. I mean, it's important. I mean, people don't understand how important those wetlands are. Teresa, when I would be in Ontario, when I was a kid and we would go farming and go camping, we would go explore these wetland areas that were like protected. And it was beautiful. It was so beautiful there in a lot of those places. So what say you? What were you thinking when you saw this piece?
For me, what stood out first, I loved the collaboration. And right, it was like, okay, who could I call on that knows more about this? And
Right.
their discussion there, trying to put their heads together and come up with a solution for how they could honor Mother Nature, but still, achieve their aims too. And so I loved that part when great minds can come together and try to figure it out. So that was the part
Right.
that first stood out to me. I live also north of Toronto, so I live up and there are wetlands around me. There's marsh, like in my community, and just like 10 minutes
Mhm.
away, that all the farming is all part of the marshland. So we have
Yeah.
tons of produce that comes out like just 10 minutes from my house. Tons of carrots, onions.
Mm.
Those are the two that I know. The two that I know. Um, and so, it's important that we sustain the areas so that Mother Nature can do what it just
Yeah.
that little quote that you said there at the end. The Mother Nature can do what it needs to do, and I loved that little part about. It made me chuckle when he said, "Oh yeah, like to me it looks all like weeds." It's like, oh
Right.
yeah, it's this, it's that, it's this and that, and this comes out in July, and this is the insect that eats this, and I'm like, oh wow, it all looks like weeds to me, but I'm so glad like
Exactly. It's so funny, right? Like the little marigolds and all these kind of things. And it is explaining like the importance of these plants, and then
yeah,
the other animals and insects that use that, and then they provide like benefits
mhm,
because they eat these certain kinds of plants that aren't like helpful. I mean, it's so this beautiful ecosystem that's there. Yeah, I thought, I have to admit, I thought that too when I first saw the video, when we were putting the shows together, like, okay, those look like weeds. And then he's like explaining each piece. Everyone, if you want to learn more about what the Nature Friendly Farming Network is doing, just click on the link that's in our chats and on our YouTube feed, and you can learn more about them. Listen, everybody, we're going to take another quick break, but when we come back, we have even more of Soulivity Today, including a very iconic music legend becoming even more iconic. So we'll be right back in 2 minutes.
Do you see me kneeling on this dual roller called Parasetter? It's actually comfortable because of this channel and the softness of the special foam. It feels like my kneecaps are being massaged. When I lie down, my spine is housed in this channel, while the convex rollers massage my muscles. They let go and lengthen. There's a traction effect from my head on the headrest and my mid-back from the rib wrap, which hugs me. When I start the breathing sequence, I feel calm because my cortisol levels are dropping. Lower cortisol means bye-bye constant hunger. Parasetter is 40 inches long and much more comfortable than old-style rollers, but it weighs only 10 ounces. Parasetter, just like Pilates was, is no longer an insider secret. Do yourself a favor. Reset your parasympathetic nervous system. Defeat stress. Lying, sitting, kneeling, or standing. This unique patented roller helps everyone.
Six years ago, when I started Soulivity, my vision was to support everyone in improving their life through the discovery of their passion and purpose, so they could become the best version of themselves, to battle fear and ignorance, and create a better world today. Get inspired to live your passion and purpose. Visit Soulivity.com now.
Hey, we're back here with more on Soulivity Today. It's another Motivational Monday show where we bring you the news and information from around the world that will help get you inspired and motivated to start your week. Teresa, you're gonna love this next story because I know you're a music lover. The Emmy Awards are typically always exciting to watch, but this year's 75th turned out to be extra special for a music icon. With an Emmy win for his concert film, Sir Elton John became and stepped into a very elite level of performing celebrities by being only one of 19 people to reach EGOT status. These are people who are the rare few who have won an Emmy, a Grammy, an Oscar, and a Tony Award throughout their career. Let's learn more and celebrate with Sir Elton John.
Elton John joining an exclusive club last night. The Rocket Man won an Emmy for Best Live Variety Special for the documentary of his farewell concert that streamed on Disney+. So that means John is now the 19th person to achieve EGOT status. Now, if you don't know, EGOT is the acronym for Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and Tony. Sir Elton John now has at least one of each. He's recovering from a recent surgery that kept him from attending the Emmys in person, but he released a statement saying, quote, "The journey to this moment has been filled with passion, dedication, and the unwavering support of all my fans." Congrats.
Woo! Now, Sir Elton John said in a public statement, "I am incredibly humbled to be joining the unbelievably talented group of EGOT winners. The journey to this moment has been filled with passion, dedication, and unwavering support of my fans all around the world. Tonight is a testament to the power of the arts and the joy that it brings to all our lives. Thank you to everyone who has supported me throughout my career. I am incredibly grateful." How cool is that, Teresa?
Yeah,
Um,
and
I
that statement you
love me some. Yeah, I love me some Elton John.
yeah, and I love those words that you just read
Yeah,
that he said.
yeah,
That I think
yeah.
that's exactly true. That music is something. There are those things that divide us, right?
Right,
Politics,
right,
religion, etc. But then there's those things that unite us: food, music, right?
right,
Dance, the art.
right.
Really, the arts are those things that unite us, and it's beautiful. And I think he's been really one of those icons that I'm
Oh
so happy for
man.
him.
Oh man, yeah. I'm remembering when I first heard two songs, one of which is my favorite. The first song was Philadelphia Freedom, of course. Shine on me, I love you. Oh man, I was like, me and my brother just played that song over and over and over and over and over again. And then my favorite song is Our Song by Elton John. That just those words, that words and the music that him and Benny Taupin put together is just, you know, they're they'll live on forever. You could release that today and it would be a hit because
Mhm,
of
mhm.
just the words and the music that are there. What do you have a favorite Elton John song? Do you know?
Well, what I'm liking about him is like even his recent music, right? That
Yeah,
I love his collaboration. I really think that this is the way to go for some of
right.
these legends, right? And I think
Yeah,
we featured a story a little while ago. I can't remember which band it was now, but they're doing some collaborations with some new artists, young and new
yeah,
and fresh artists. So, he recently had that song with Dua Lipa that came, which is like a
yeah,
remix of his, right? And it
yeah.
brings songs that people are unfamiliar with because he's from another time. Like to be honest, even the ones that you mentioned, I'm like, oh, yeah, I know them, but he was a little bit before my time too. And I think that I love when there are some of these legends that are doing this and bringing their music forward, but in a really young and fresh way. And I
Right.
think this is how they stay current and relevant and top of
Mhm.
mind.
Absolutely. Do you have a favorite Elton John song?
No, I'm sorry, I don't. I don't have a favorite. He's not one of my favorites, so I don't. But I do think he's amazing.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they're all good, right? I mean, they're all amazing and good. And congratulations again to Sir Elton John for this,
Mhm.
history making event for him. He certainly deserves it. Listen, everybody, we're going to take another quick break, but when we come back, we'll have our last, but not least, Motivational Monday story coming up in just a couple of minutes, and it involves fluffy animals. Yeah, stick around and you'll find out what this is all about.
You can find all of the Satana products at our Go shop at go.soulivity.com.
Have you ever asked the question, if I was to be anything, what would I be? Regardless of money, regardless of status, beyond popularity and fame. Living your passion feeling your life has purpose. Soulivity is a space to nurture that which lives in all of us. A place where work can become play, and doing what we love creates the dreams of a lifetime.
Hello, New York City. Oh, what a beautiful view of downtown. Beautiful sunny and blue skies. I guess it's going to be a little bit warmer there today. And we are glad that you're back with us as we talk more about Soulivity Today and our Motivational Monday show, where we bring you news and information from all around the world that will help get you inspired and motivated to start your work week. You like hockey, right, Teresa?
Yeah. Oh my God.
Of course.
What Canadian?
Yeah.
What Canadian we don't like it? I'm not in love. But yeah. Okay.
You're not in love.
I'm Canadian, so I think we have to.
Hey,
We're kind of
I'm
forced.
Canadian.
Yeah.
Of course I like hockey.
Yeah, you have to.
Well, listen, I love it too. And, everyone, hockey games are always a good time, right? It's a great sport. There's fast action, cold beer, hot dogs. I mean, what could be better, right? Well, in Hershey, Pennsylvania, flying teddy bears made it even more special. Let's watch.
Different local organizations. Aaron Mitchell's going to try to hit the ice from up top here. It's Trinyeya from the right wing on a shot underneath. Goaltender Cal Peterson from a sharp angle. The Phantoms will retreat to the locker room. The cleanup begins. We get a look at the replay. Short side, Trinyeya into the glass, and that's got to feel good. Back in the lineup here today, and that's why our third key, right? Shot volume. That's one that probably shouldn't go in, but Trinyeya beats him low inside the near post.
That's exactly it. We talked on it, we touched on it. It's a great play through the middle of the ice there, and he's able to sneak that underneath the blocker of Cal Peterson, and it's one of those things. Cal Peterson's obviously.
So you may be wondering what the heck is going on here, right? Well, since 2001, during the Hershey Bear hockey games, fans toss up stuffed animals onto the ice, which will later be donated to charity. And they broke a record this year, everyone, with over 70,000 tossed and will be given to more than 30 local and regional organizations. So how cool is that, Teresa? That makes it even that much more special, right?
It was. I was laughing. And imagine the people sitting further down, right? Because people from the top are throwing it, but they don't get it in. And so they have bears that are
Right.
just being launched at them from everywhere. And then they have to take those and launch them again to see how far they could get it before it got to the ice. I just thought, oh my God, it's so funny to see all of the bears. And then the commentators, it was like it wasn't
Right.
even happening. I was like,
Right.
what?
I'm like, come on, guys. Let's talk about the bear toss here. I mean, they talked about a little bit of it in the beginning, but then I was like, wait a minute now, come on. This is really, really cool. Again, this has been going on since 2001. They have raised people have given something it's over 380,000, I believe, stuffed animals, and that means a lot to kids who are impoverished or that kind of thing, and they don't get toys like that, and so it can make a big difference to them that somebody's thinking about them and that they matter. And so really wanted to cover that show today. That story today, because again, I look at it when you were talking about your friend earlier, who we also want to send some light and love to as she's going through her challenge. That you are never alone. You're never really alone. There's always people that are in your corner. So even if you feel as though you're alone, you're not. You're not. We're going to be here for you, and I'm sure there's other people in your community and around you that will be there for you as well. And so I just want to remind people of that's what that story kind of embodied. That, hey, it's teddy bears, but imagine what kid receives of that teddy bear, what it's going to do for that child's life and moving forward, right? I mean, that may change a child's life and change their direction, just that they were being thought about, you know.
You know what also came to mind?
What?
The song, It's Raining Men, but it's Raining Bears. That's what I was singing to myself. It's raining
It's
bears.
raining bears.
Hallelujah, it's raining bears. And I'm like, how is this guy not talking about this? It's literally raining bears everywhere. And instead of talking about the charities that it was going to, like, it's a huge thing.
Yeah. Come on, you
Oh,
guys got to get it together. You guys got to get it together.
exactly.
Yeah. He's like rolling his eyes as he's talking about, the bears flying and all this kind of stuff. It's like, come on. We can do better. I just love doing these shows. It's like, there's so much that we bring together. It's reminds us that all the news and all the things that are happening aren't like politics and murder and all these other stuff that's happening. There's other things happening around the world that make living thriving, you know what I mean? Or people moving out of survival into living. And that there's more going on, and that, there's people out here trying to do some good work and do some good things in the world. And so, doing these shows with you, Teresa, it's like, yeah, I love doing these Motivational Monday stories. We're bringing all this stuff and information to people.
Thank you. That's exactly how I felt when we started the show, talking about this gentleman all the way in Japan.
Right.
Wow, how cool is this, right? That we're talking about someone literally on the other side of Earth
Of
for
the
us,
world.
because
Yep.
we're
Yep.
located. And I'm like, good
Exactly.
for him too, right? That his good work is spanning the entire planet. It's amazing. So yeah, I totally
Yeah.
love it. Thank you.
Ah, man. Well, listen, that's how we do it here. And so glad that you're here with me. Listen, we've got more Soulivity Today coming up. So stick by us. Got a special announcement that includes our own co-host, Teresa Greco, coming up in the next segment. So we'll be right back in a couple of minutes.
Would you like to be one of the first people to experience mental freedom? Mental freedom is a coaching practice with 6 core principles: improving hope, self-efficacy, optimism, resilience, and general well-being. Mental freedom only takes 6 sessions. It is designed to give you the tools you need to help yourself. It can help with any situation: relationship problems, past trauma, career decisions, parenting challenges, addiction, and mental health concerns. Incorporating the mental freedom framework into your life will deliver an approach to master any situation and a pathway toward achieving inner peace. Mental freedom provides the information and tools that you need to grow and be bigger than anything that ever happens to you. So if you're looking for one-on-one or a group coaching program that will allow you to address any situation that comes up in your life with practical tools to give you more peace and joy, then join the Mental Freedom Program in Soulivity's Aspire Academy. There are very limited spots available, so don't delay. I hope to see you there.
Hey, we are back here with more on Soulivity Today, and we have a very special plug for our shameless plugs with Teresa. And Teresa, I know you don't like talking about yourself a lot of times, but I have no shame in my game, so I'm going to talk about it. Teresa has been honored to be part of not one but two TEDx talks. The second one's going to be announced in a little while, but the first one is actually going to be part of their Grand Rising TEDx talk at TEDx Western U in London, Ontario, a beautiful little city in Ontario. That's great. I love London. That's going to be on February the 2nd, 2023. And Teresa, this is fantastic. Tell us a little bit about what you're going to be talking about.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
This is a dream come true. I always wanted to do a TEDx talk, so the fact that my first talk was accepted, and I'll be delivering that in 2 weeks, as you said, in London at Western University. This particular theme of this event is one that really resonated with me. As you could see, it's called Rising Phoenix, and it is really about coming out of the ashes and flying higher than ever before. And my story of happiness very much is in alignment with that, when over 10 years ago, I was not happy. Although on the outside, you could say that my life looked pretty perfect. So it didn't quite make sense. And so in the talk, I go through my happiness journey as well as the various steps that I took that helped me to get to a better place. So yes, and so I will share the link once it gets published or produced, and then it goes live on YouTube. I'll go ahead and share that.
Perfect. And everyone, you can learn more about TED and this TEDx event by clicking on the link that we put in all of our chats. You can also go to www.ted.com/TEDx/events/54900. It's open to the public. Tickets are available. Just go to that website and you can register for tickets and that kind of thing. Teresa, you've also got something that's been ongoing, a class that's been offered at a fantastic rate that's on our Aspire Academy, the 6 weeks to mental freedom. And really quickly, this is kind of like, an extension of what you're going to be talking about with the TED Talk, right? Like rising from through adversity and that kind of thing. But this is like getting those tools to kind of help you move through that. Can you talk about this really quickly?
Yeah, thank you. Yes, in just 6 weeks, you can learn all the tools you need to help you to be bigger than anything that ever happens to you. So it's a program that was designed not by me, by somebody named Kim Olver, and with her work with choice theory. So if anyone's familiar with that philosophical theoretical program, and basically, she designed Mental Freedom, which gives you the practical tools and steps that you need in order to tackle pretty much anything that comes your way. So the program's been shown to work through addiction and depression, anxiety, past trauma, really there hasn't been a situation where it has not been able to be applied. And so we are not taught these tools, right? Things happen to us and we don't know how to work through them. We don't know how to heal, how to move past, how to even process them. And that's exactly what this does. For me, mental freedom is a return to peace, that when something happens, what tool can we turn to help me process what's happening, to move through, heal, let go, and forgive, and move on. And so I love this program because it really gives us the tools. It gives us what we need to be able, as I said, return us back to that place of peace and happiness within us.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. And you can learn more about how to sign up for 6 weeks to mental freedom with Teresa Greco by going to soulivity.com Teresa Mental Freedom. That's all one word. That's soulivity.com/Teresa Mental Freedom, all one word. Also want to remind everyone, listen, we've got some fantastic new articles and content at soulivity.com. Check it out. There's one fantastic article on how to feel your best daily. Go check that out. It's one of our new features, as well as you can watch Soulivity TV 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on our streaming channel. Want to just remind everybody to follow us on social media, specifically subscribe to our YouTube channel where you can get notifications of every time that we go live. That's at Soulivity Magazine on YouTube. Just put a search in there and it will pop up. Teresa, man, it always seems like these shows just go by so quickly. I want to talk more. I want to give people more motivation. Wow.
I know. I feel like that too. It really does. But I also love how it just sets my day and my week off on the right foot. So
Right.
thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
Oh, of course. This is how we're going to do it every week, you know?
Woo.
Yeah, I know, right? Listen, everybody, we're going to be doing this every week, typically on Mondays. I mean, sometimes we have some special Monday shows, but they're all designed to motivate you, to help you, get inspired and energized and feeling good, and knowing that, hey, listen, you matter in this world. The work that you're doing matters. And there's other people around the world that are doing the same thing. And so just glad that you came and joined us this morning on a Monday. I've got some fantastic shows coming up in the rest of the week, including tomorrow on our show. We're going to be featuring a consultant, a Marvel consultant, who's going to be talking about how Marvel and its What If Kahori series, she changed the world from the What If series on Disney Plus, how they integrated First Nation and Indigenous origins and culture into that actual series, in that episode. So you don't want to miss that. That's going to be really cool because I love Marvel. I love that What If series and that kind of thing. So listen, just want to say until next time, keep on pursuing your passion and purpose, because you're going to create a high quality life, your best life today. So listen, on behalf of all of us, we'll see you next time, and take care.
This work is subject to copyright owned by Affinity Global LLC. Any reproduction or republication of all or part of this is expressly prohibited unless Affinity Global LLC has explicitly granted its prior written consent. All other rights reserved.